Welcome back to the podcast. This is a J and Z podcast. We are talking about Step Brothers.
Yeah, Step Brothers. It's our 6th episode.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th one. It's been 6 weeks. So if you've been with us since the beginning, whew, thank you.
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Indeed. I think this is going to be a good kind of refreshing change of pace because we've done drama, action, kind of comedy, sort of, but we haven't really done a full comedy yet. Like, there's funny moments in Back to the Future. There's, I guess, kind of some funny moments in Batman. Just kind of depends on it.
Right? It's like, yeah, there's some funny moments in The Dark Knight. Like when the guy got killed, it's like, okay, it's not that specifically funny. Yeah. I mean, the hockey pads line is kind of funny.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing hockey pads, but it's not like if someone was like, "Oh, my favorite comedy, The Dark Knight." I'd be like, okay, it's a little. I don't want to see your basement.
Yeah, but this movie in particular, Step Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you feel this way, but there's certain actors that you just see, usually, like, you look at them, right? You make eye contact, and you start laughing.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I just look at Adam Sandler, and I just start laughing.
Yep.
They didn't know where that came from, yeah!
He hasn't even said anything, and I'm just laughing.
That's the way I feel about Will Ferrell.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
I do want to preface this. If you don't like Will Ferrell, like, I get it. He's really loud, he's over the top, he's obnoxious, but, like, he is my type of humor.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Like, if Jared said, hey, let's go see the new Will Ferrell movie, I don't even need to know what it's about. I'm already laughing.
Yeah. And he has some bangers out there for sure. Step Brothers.
Fuck you, Dale! Fuck you!
Elf.
It's great. Elf is a cult classic.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Great. Old School, I mean, we quote that.
Old School was huge. But
Whoa.
But the thing is exactly what you said, there is a group of people that really don't like him, and I think it's because, like, one of his major aspects of comedy is he's loud.
Yeah, he's loud,
really
he's
loud.
over the top, he usually is angry.
Yeah.
Which is why Step
Which
Brothers...
is comedy gold.
Which is why Step Brothers is just... I was looking at it in 2008. I think my sense of humor peaked in 2008 because you've got this, you've got Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you've got Pineapple Express,
Thug Life.
you've got
Great
Tropic
one.
Thunder,
Great one.
like all of those movies. Kung Fu Panda came out in 2008.
Skadoosh.
Yeah,
You're a panda. What are you gonna do, big guy? Sit on me?
right? So I think my sense of humor, I think I saw all those movies and I went, this is what I'm going to be like forever. This is what I'm going to be like forever. My sense of humor and quotes and lines, like, this is all I got.
The one person, though, I don't want to overlook is John C. Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, how I compared it when I saw it was, like, Jeff Daniels to Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. Like, Jim Carrey, comedic rock star, literally could do it all by himself.
Bang, bang, kitty, kitty, bang, bang, her fine for men.
But Jeff Daniels adds so much to that movie, as does John C. Reilly in Step Brothers. But I feel like sometimes they're shadowed by the other person.
It's true. What I think is funny is just like Jeff Daniels, John C. Reilly got nominated for an Academy Award for Chicago a few years before that. So, like, John C. Reilly was doing Broadway, and then in Step Brothers is just yelling, I'm gonna stab you in the neck with a fork. Like, just what a total 180. Just like Jeff Daniels was getting nominated for Academy Awards, and then the next thing you see him is he's shitting on a toilet with no toilet paper.
Yeah. Do you know what the critics' response were to Step Brothers?
It was pretty mixed. Like,
Really?
there was obviously, there was a lot of people that were like, oh, this is just for man children or babies. But then there were a lot of people that could see through it, and they could see, like, how tight the script is, because this is a really tight script. Like, this movie fucking moves.
And what are those famous critics? Simon and...
Garfinkel?
Yeah. Well, so it was funny because the reason why I asked that is because they reviewed Dumb and Dumber when it first came out. They said it was a shit movie. They're this movie, hot steaming garbage. And then they did an episode on their show just about Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And they called it A Clown with Class. And they basically were like, we're wrong. They're like, we didn't know
That's good.
what we were seeing when we were seeing it. It's like it had never been done before. And so I wonder...
That makes sense.
And I don't know if I would put Will Ferrell on the same level as Jim Carrey, but it's just interesting to me that like critics are usually like, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like they'll take anything,
right,
and they'll write a review and then never change their mind. They could be like,
Dark Knight,
anything, Cats with that late night talk shows, best movie of all time.
I hate it.
And then it comes out and it's like, I stand by what I said.
Yeah, I still think Cats is a masterpiece. It's like, you dense motherfucker.
No, God, no.
No, but I totally relate to what you're talking about, especially, you know, do you remember the first time you saw this? Because I remember I watched it, it was around Christmas, my dad got this and Tropic Thunder. We rented that for like the weekend.
What a great weekend.
I know, right? Like, again, I think that I saw both of those movies and something like Inside Out. It was like core memory.
Sure.
And it's just been my sense of humor forever.
Yeah. I think I was in middle school at the time when I watched it. And I remember, like, for me, like, what makes a good movie is you never have a concept of time during the movie. So, like, recently we reviewed the new Batman movie, which we both thought was great.
Oh, yeah.
But there was definitely several times in the theater where I was like,
I actually got to watch this time. Do you want to look at the clock?
It's too long.
Too long.
Yeah, and not that it was a bad movie, it was just too long. And Step Brothers, there's no perception of time. It's just like, it's laugh. Like, it's so good throughout it. And it does a really great job, because what I've seen a lot of movies do is they'll hit like a kind of a comedic climax almost, and then nothing really beats a laugh or that laugh, where they do a really good job of kind of like revving up, like, and we'll start with like the first couple scenes because they're some of my favorite, where it shows them driving to so she marries the guy, right? The mom does.
Yep, and she was also in Back to the Future Part 3 as Clara.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Like I said in the other podcast, every time I saw her, I imagined her screaming, "What the fucking fuck?"
Yes. So she marries a guy that like meet at some convention thing, and so she's driving over to their house. The dad's name Doback, I think is his last name. Yeah.
Mr. Doback.
Yeah, is he?
You can call me Dale.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Doback.
Is him and Dale live in one house, and then Brendan, and his mom live in another house, but they're moving in with them, right?
Yep.
And so I just love this scene so much because they're driving over to the house and he's just rattling off Brendan all this shit that he won't do, and he's just like, he's pissed. He doesn't want to like.
He's not even looking at his mom.
No, and I just love the part where he's sitting back there and he's kind of rocking like a kid, and he goes,
"I'm not gonna call him Dad."
And
Brendan, you don't have to call him Dad. You're 40 years old.
43 years old. You don't have to call him Dad. He's like, I'm not going to call him Dad, even if there's a fire.
It's like, if there was a fire, why are you going, Dad?
Yeah. Up until that point, you hadn't called him Dad before.
Just called him Mr. Doback.
Yeah. Dad!
Help me!
Yeah, that's so funny to me.
And then the line about him smoking pot with Johnny Hopkins.
That's a good one.
He graduated from Johnny Hopkins.
Well, the funny thing about that line is it starts with him saying, like, does he really have a degree?
Yeah.
Like, can we trust that? Like, and he has no job, lived with his mom for 40 years, and he's like...
Don't know if we can trust that.
Is he a doctor? We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. I would say the next scene following that, for me, and we're going to jump around a lot.
100%.
But, I don't know. I really love when... his Brennan's stepbrother comes in, or
John C. Reilly.
No.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's Brennan's brother, and it's John C. Reilly's stepbrother.
Yep.
And so Brennan hates him, and so he's like, screw this guy, I'm gonna go hide in my treehouse.
Yeah.
And John C. Reilly doesn't really like know why he doesn't like him, and so he like kind of tries to have dinner with him, but Adam Scott is just like a Derek.
Derek's such a dick.
He's just such a douchebag.
He brags about everying, anything
like money,
that he does.
Like, all that stuff. And he, like, Dale has enough, goes up into his treehouse, and they're looking at nudie mags. Hustlers from like the 70s.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's like masturbating at a time machine. Yeah. And so Derek comes up into the treehouse, which is such a great scene.
I can't even talk about him without laughing. Just him. Do you mind if I go very low? Yeah. So he looks at John C. Reilly, and they both just have this fuck off in dialogue, and he's just like, you look like you want to punch me, but you're not. And he goes, hit me in the fucking face.
You want to punch me right now, but you won't.
And then gets punched in the face, falling to the ground, finally getting the shit kicked out of him, like actually getting hit.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if you know me really closely, I'll go, you look like you're gonna hit me, but you're not. Hit me in the fucking face.
Yeah, and then he punches him. The weird part, though, about this scene that is, like, and it was really uncomfortable for me, because I remember vividly in middle school, I was watching this with my family, and if you remember the scene to follow, Derek's wife,
Oh, God.
who's a great actress.
Yeah, she's a great comedic actress. She was on the new WandaVision show, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can catch her on WandaVision. But...
Yeah, she's hilarious. And the scene is like, everyone hates Derek, but doesn't stand up to him because he's like this big macho guy.
Yeah.
And she gets like really horny.
So
at the fact.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God, you hit Derek? Oh my God, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Being a kid, watching it with your parents, I'd be like, I know what she wants and I don't like it. Let's go back to funny part where man got hit in head.
Yeah. And she like is like, I think I love you.
Yeah, she says, I'm going to touch myself tonight thinking about when you got hit in the face.
No, it's even worse than that. It's even worse than that. She's like, I'm going to roll you into a little ball and shove you in my vagina. That's literally, and then she's like, your little fuzzy hair, and I feel a tickle, I'll know that's you.
It's so gross.
And I'm like, what the, think of that scenario for a second. Think of that. She's going to shrink, like scientifically shrink Dale, roll him up like a joint, like, yeah, like, it's like,
and then every time she, ooh.
Again, when we review these movies, what I have to think about in my mind is there's fucking people sitting in a writer's room that are like, how can we portray the love and affection towards Dale after doing that? And someone in the back with a hood on, like, scratching themselves like, I have an idea.
I'm going to create a fetish. How about we shrink them and put it right up there?
They're like, great idea, Steve.
Put it on the storyboard.
Put it on the board.
Write it down, yeah.
Right before lunch, we're going to try to have them say it without laughing. Because I love, right after that, Brennan walks up and John C. Reilly's like, what? What's happening? What? She just want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, we didn't kiss. Nothing happened. We didn't do that.
There are a couple jokes that definitely do date it, but not in a bad way. Like, there's the Guitar Hero that he plays in the beginning. John C. Reilly plays Guitar Hero. You got, Derek being such a dick, being like, babe, Dane Cook, 20 minutes, pay-per-view, let's go.
Oh, Dane Cook.
That kind of dates it, but for the most part, it's lasted a long time, like, in the zeitgeist. Like, just all these lines and everything.
Yeah. That's the thing, too, about comedy is, like, it's really hard to go back and watch old movies because there's some jokes that just like really don't. Even what's crazy is like movies just 10 years ago, like just 10 years ago. Like I watched The Hangover.
Oh yeah, there's some
intense jokes in there. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just like back then everybody was laughing, and now it's just like, oh wow, that's really homophobic. That's really fucked up.
Well, it's like okay, like the line that I have with comedy is, and I think people have used it before. Not my line, but the concept. They call it the Daniel Tosh line.
Yep.
Which is basically your joke always has to be more funny than it is offensive. And the reason why they call it the Daniel Tosh line is because he fucking goes up and down, over, under that line like crazy. But that's the thing is your joke has to be more funny than it is offensive. But I also think there is a group of people that probably, they don't think it should be offensive at all. But I feel like in some ways it should make you feel kind of uncomfortable. And Step Brothers does a really great job of I don't think there's really anything offensive in it.
There's a couple slurs by Derek, but that's the thing that I was just about to say is that it's done by Derek.
It's on the right character.
It's not by the main characters that are like having a good time and they just drop a gay slur.
Yeah.
Like Derek's a fucking dick. You're not supposed to like this guy. So when he's calling them all this homophobic shit, it just is like, you punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy for having abs.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. It was funny you say that about the abs thing. Is it's very clearly a different actor.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Damn, dude, you look great." But now as an adult, I'm like, "Yeah, that's a different fucking actor. That's a different hand pointing at his abs." Where he's like, "I haven't had a carb since 2004," which all he drinks in the movie is beer. So he's fucking lying. The entire movie, he's like, "I haven't had a carb," while he's drinking Heineken.
Yeah, it's true.
Fucking liar.
I think the next scene in the movie that I really, really like, which is kind of iconic, it's when they're at the dinner table for the first time. And it's like, it's so awkward and uncomfortable because it's like, if some of you may have been in this situation before, but like you're at dinner with your new family, right? So like your step family, you don't know what you have in common. Like you don't know these people. They're basically strangers, but you're having like an intimate family dinner, and it starts out perfectly because it's that awkward sound of like just like close your eyes and picture this, okay? You're around a dinner table, you're eating food, but all you hear is the clinking of the knives and forks on the plates, but no one's talking yet.
And the sound of the sauce being squished.
That's what breaks the silence, is the ketchup bottle going.
and then Billy
goes, Dale!
He's like, "What? I'm hungry." And then it being like, "Oh, well, Brendan has this special sauce." And he's like, "Yeah, it's my sauce." He's like, "Well, why don't you share it?" And he just keeps pouring it on his fucking plate as he's like, "Brendan, why don't you just share it?" And he's like, "No, I need more sauce. I need my happy sauce." I remember in high school or middle school, everybody sang the line,
"Laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur."
Because right before that, he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember my first beer."
Yeah.
And then he starts to pretend to cry or actually cry. And it is funny because watching it now, it's like, yeah, this movie wouldn't be funny if they were using like 12-year-old actors. Like if it was actually like supposed to be like, you know, Step Brothers, but with like 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds. Like the joke is that they're fucking man children.
It's funny too because like think about how you would sell that movie, right? Like, okay, check it out. Two families coming together, have their differences. One has a kid, but ready for this? They're both 40.
Right.
Like what? Like production studio goes, jackpot.
Great.
Give him all the money.
Great idea.
It, make it happen.
Let's take two biggest, like, huge stars and let's put them in this movie. Because, like, everybody in that movie has been nominated for at least one award.
Right, yeah.
Like, the dad, Richard Jennings, he's been nominated for an Academy Award. John C. Reilly's been nominated for an Academy Award. So you're grabbing these people, and I wish I could be a fly in the wall while he's reading, like, so, what if Nancy comes up and she thinks, "I've had the young buck, I want the bull." And then she touches my dick pubes, and Richard goes, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, I wish I could just see them saying that script.
Yeah,
or
from my chest pubes down to my ball fro.
Yeah. Or just like, you know, obviously the really iconic, you know, "Did you touch my drum set?" Which everybody's quoted, but that's probably one of my favorite scenes because, you know, it's like, "Oh, why are you so sweaty?" "I was watching Cops." What the fuck does that mean?
That's an inside joke that I have with my mom that I'll say all the time.
I didn't know
She'll
this.
ask me if I am doing something or did something. She'll be like, "Did you do the dishes?" I'm like, "No, I was watching Cops."
I didn't know that. That's really funny.
I say that every single time. "Did you do this? Did you go to the grocery store?" "No, I was watching Cops."
Watching Cops. Get your feet off the couch, and then as soon as he leaves, he puts the feet back on the couch. Why is it? That's just so funny. I love whenever he looks at the drum set. It does this really sharp close up, and the music goes, and then it cuts. It's like 2 seconds of and then just cuts.
I love so much where he's like beating the shit out of the drum sets and he grabs the snare drum and he holds it close to his face and he goes, "Fuck you, Dale! Fuck you!"
Oh my god, it's so...
And then he punches it.
It's so funny. So just jumping around, John C. Reilly. My favorite curse word is motherfucker. And there's a part where we're skipping around, but Dale's parents have split up, they've left, and so they have this big argument about who broke up who. And so Will Ferrell goes, "That's it, I'm leaving." He goes in the other room, and you hear him playing on the drums, and you hear, "Dale broke up mom and dad. Dale broke up," and it's
Dale's a bitch.
It's Dale's a bitch, and it's this close up of John C. Reilly, and he goes, "Motherfucker!" And I've seen this movie over 20 times, and I laugh every single time. That close up of his face screaming that.
The scene that makes me laugh the hardest is the following scene where he's dragging his unconscious.
It's just like Cold Case Files. It's just like Cold Case Files. This happens all the time.
It's just like Cold Case Files. It's just like Cold Case Files.
People are buried in unmarked graves all the time. It's so... Oh, God, the script is so tight. Something I actually learned that I thought was funny was Joaquin Phoenix has seen this movie more than any other movie.
Which is so...
fucking weird.
Yeah, because, like, I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. Weird guy.
I know.
It's so interesting to me about Joaquin Phoenix because really interesting guy.
Yeah.
Right? When I think of him, though, and I think about, like, what's his favorite movie, like, okay, here's my scenario. I'm on a plane.
Yep.
Okay, flying to Vegas or something, and I see, oh, shit. It's Joaquin Phoenix. He just got on our plane.
That's awesome.
Right? He sits down in first class and I sit in poor class. And
yeah, exactly.
I'm looking through the seats and I'm like, oh, is he watching Step Brothers?
No, he's not watching Step Brothers.
I'm picturing, oh, of course. He's watching Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, exactly. Something really weird and niche.
Like, that's a Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah, I'm not seeing John C. Reilly having sex going, something's gonna happen. Something's happening.
One actress where she pees after that, she puts her foot up.
And he's like, you're so beautiful.
Yeah. I like the image of when, kind of towards the end of the movie, the Catalina wine mixer happens, all that stuff.
You used to have a t-shirt that said, keep calm, because it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All those keep calm shirts. Also, still have that shirt.
I had a t-shirt. I went out with you to a bar, and I had the Step Brothers poster t-shirt. I was getting a drink, you were talking with someone, and this big old frat guy comes up to me and goes, hey. And I was like, hey. And he goes, you can call me Dragon. And without like the music's going boom, 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 I look at him and I go, you can call me Nighthawk. And then he just nodded at me and I nodded back and then he left and I never saw him again.
It's great.
It was great.
That's great.
And then I came back to the table and I was like, this shirt has power.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. We went to we're tangenting, but we went to EDM concert.
Yes, we
did.
Like the Glitch Mob.
The Glitch Mob.
For the ones you know.
Great band. And I was wearing a Dunder Mifflin Paper Company shirt.
Yep.
And, like, the reaction I got was really funny. This girl walked up to me in the middle of the concert, like walks up to me and goes, oh my God, I love your shirt. Do you have any Molly?
And you were dancing in place.
Like, that's exactly how it is.
Dancing in place, and she asked that. She looked like the quintessential rave girl. Like, if you looked in Webster's dictionary, and there was rave girl, there would be a picture of her.
And me behind her in my Dunder Mifflin shirt doing this.
Just dancing like this, and then being like, oh my God, do you have any Molly? I heard that, and I was like, I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
But as for Step Brothers, I think with the Catalina wine mixer, because the entire movie is building to the Catalina wine mixer. Cause
you don't realize it is, but it is.
It is, because they talk about it, they mention it, and, you know, Dale and Brennan, they have to be adults. Like, everything's been super fucked up. Like, they've made sure that the house didn't sell, and there's actually a montage of all them doing adult stuff, and...
It's really sad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Will Ferrell, though, he walks out of Costco with a huge thing of toilet paper and he does a fist bump.
Well, okay, you know why he did that, right?
Yeah, because he had no toilet paper to wipe his ass, so he used a rug.
He used a rug and a sink.
Just a really sad situation.
Yeah.
But when he had the toilet paper and he fist bumped, I was like, oh, that's how I felt in 2020 when I couldn't find any fucking toilet paper because everyone stole it. But then when I finally got a roll, I was like, yes, I can wipe my ass.
You know what's so funny, thinking about that incident with all the toilet paper, is if we just continued with life as normal, nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
It's not like,
that's weird.
Toilet paper!
Exactly.
Not, yeah. But so, like I was mentioning with the scene that I really like, is they go through all of these, like, victorious moments in Brennan's mind, and there's one where, I can't remember who it is, I think it's Brennan or Dale, they're a centaur.
Yes, that would be,
I think it's Dale.
Dale, yeah, he's a Dale.
And he
it's
pulls out a bow and he shoots them. And then the girl that he's been hooking up with, Derek's wife, he like comes to the forest and he looks at her and he gets scared like a deer. He's like, and then they end up kissing again.
Because the cover band got booed off because he was like, we're only doing 80s Billy Joel songs. Yeah. And some guys,
take your skank hooker wife and leave.
Exactly. And so they get kicked off. And he's just like, okay, I see a pair of drums, I see a microphone, you guys need to go pull, you guys need to do it. And they're like, no, like, we're trying to be adults.
Yeah.
And he has one of my favorite monologues where he's like, you know, I gave up childish things. I would run around and I would be like a T-Rex. And I'd have my arms like this and I'd run around and I'd chase cats. I'd yell at the cats. I'd growl at the cats. And then my dad said, you're 17 years old. You need to go get a fucking job. And so he's like, and now I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
And they're like, that doesn't make sense.
It's a weird fucking story. Like, they even look at each other, but they get on stage and they start singing, and there's a montage.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this, like, beautiful moment where he's like, don't lose your dinosaur. And
don't
like,
lose it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
But, I mean, it can connect to that. That's so funny. I fell off my dinosaur.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm just like, I'm stretching.
Yeah.
I like in the montage when he keeps flirting with his therapist, and his therapist is like, no, this is completely consensual, there's no romantic feelings, and he's like, you're such a card, I love you so much. But in the montage, she's having a therapy appointment, and he kicks down the door like a lumberjack, and he's
full
beard, looking like he's from the PNW. And he's like,
I traveled 500 miles to give you my seed.
I have traveled thousands of miles to give you my seed. And she's like, lumberjack. And he rips off her clothes and goes, ah! It's really great. And that's actually Will Ferrell singing. And that's actually John C. Reilly's drumming.
Wow.
And his shirt with Return of the Jedi with just the Yoda on it. I want that shirt so badly.
It's a great shirt.
I also love when Rob Riggle's like, your face, I want to punch it. I just want to hit it.
Every time I see your face, I want to deliver one of these right to your suck hole.
He's also the same guy that's like, this man has eaten a dick. Pow! It's just like, in one of the outtakes, he's like,
I think that's something about this movie that also is really fantastic, is the supporting actors are so killer. You have Rob Riggle, Adam Scott, like, they are so good. I think the last scene that I'll mention, which is my favorite of all time, is they finally have a connection. They're having so much fun. They do karate in the garage. Hall & Oates starts playing.
Yes.
Everything's perfect. They're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Measure their dicks.
Yeah, exactly. They're sword fighting in the
sword fight. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's the same
size.
But they run. Oh god, it's so. You try not to laugh. Try not to laugh. Okay, they run into the room. Close your eyes and picture the movie. They run into the room and they're panting. They're immediately out of breath. They're like, Mom, go back. And he goes, Brendan, call me by my first name. And he goes, okay, Doback, do you think it could be maybe possible if we could build bunk beds? And then John C. Reilly immediately is like, okay, listen, it's not crazy. We know what we're doing. We would have so much more room for activities. And it's not what they're saying that gets me. It's the parents' reaction where it's like it builds up, like it escalates. Because the dad is like, you know, you both have really important interviews tomorrow. I would really hope you would be focused on that. And like, oh, for sure, absolutely. But like, can we make the bunk bed? And he's like, you both need to get a good night's sleep. You have really important interviews in the morning. And then Dale is like, so can we? And he goes, I don't give a fuck. And then Brennan goes, so yes? And then the mom finally is like, yes, you guys can do it. And then this scene that it's that dialogue that makes you laugh so hard. You hear a fucking power drill.
Dale, no power drills. I'm just brushing my teeth.
No power tools. No power tools.
I'm just brushing my teeth.
That's not your toothbrush. And then he literally says, oh, whatever, I'm done anyway. It's so good. But yeah, that's my last favorite scene.
Yeah. I would say my last favorite scene is the very end, where they get the Hustlers and they get the Hulk hands.
They get the mask, the Wookiee mask.
The Wookiee masks,
Yeah.
or John C. Reilly going, I'm gonna throw up, I'm feeling so sick, I'm gonna throw up. That's how I feel. When I feel like I'm gonna throw up, I just immediately say, I'm gonna throw up, this is gonna make me sick.
Then he actually throws up.
Then I actually do throw up.
Yeah.
But no, that's Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, episode 6. A couple things to keep in mind. Just like we said before, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We do a new episode every single Sunday.
We do.
Stay tuned to that. But that's it from us.
That is it from us.
Adios.
Adios.